Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Hello, once again, the Take a Listing Today podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Studebaker. Over there is Todd Robertson.
And our producer, Lisa Gray.
Welcome back, Lisa. We are glad you are here.
We're very glad because she's kept us going for, a year and a half or something now.
And we wouldn't know what to do unless she was here. So.
On our own, we'd have made it a week and a half.
Maybe a week and a half, exactly. So thank you. You picked a great day to join us. And don't forget our website, takealistingtoday.com, to learn about our upcoming shows and to join us live on a future podcast where you might win some great prizes. We have a topic today, and that topic's name is Brett Figueroa. Brett, are you there?
Figueroa.
I am here. Thank you. Awesome.
All right. Welcome to our show. Where are you located right now, Brett?
Todd and Jim, thank you.
Yeah.
One more time, Jim.
Where are you located today?
I'm in beautiful Denver, Colorado.
All right. Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City, right?
Mile High. We just had snow yesterday, and it's the 10th day of September, and we just had snow.
Excellent. So you've got your Christmas tree up already, and you're ready to celebrate some holidays, right?
Right.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
I'm just a little insulted with the palm trees, the blue skies, and the water in the background. I'm kind of not sure how to deal with that one.
It's a free country. You can travel anywhere you want, right? So if you'd like to come over here.
Yep. We have room for you.
Feel free.
Lodging. Exactly.
Just in studio.
Yeah. You could be.
Awesome.
We do have another chair we bring in here for live guests. So if you want to try that sometime, that'd be awesome. So
it's enticing. It's enticing.
Yeah. So today we're talking with Brett from Brett Figueroa International, and the topic is list more, sell more, earn more. So before we start, Brett, we'd love to hear more about your background and how you are currently helping agents succeed.
Okay, great. Awesome. I just want to say thanks, Jim, and thanks, Todd, for having me on here today. What an incredible opportunity to be with you guys out there in your beautiful part of the world. And so thanks for having me on here today. And
Absolutely.
So, a little bit about my background. I've been doing the work I've been doing now. I've been a success coach for the past 2.5 decades, for the past 25 years, and working under Tony Robbins for many of those years, about 7 of those years. And so people will invariably ask me a little bit about my background and what that looked like. And so in 1995, I showed up to Tony Robbins. For those that know Tony Robbins, big motivational speaking and what have you, an author. But I showed up, and I was at one of those places. And I don't know where your listeners are at today, as a professional real estate agent, but I know where I was at that juncture of my life, and I had no job, no money, no car. And I'm like, how do I make my life work? And one of the things I was taught was that, if you're committed to success, hang out with successful people, go to work with successful people, model success. And so as a young guy, I showed up to Tony Robbins' doorstep in 1995, no job, no money, no car. I started in the boiler room of his company, making phone calls out of the boiler room for $7.50 an hour. And I used to take a bus, and I would take a bus home and a train home and a cab home. And it was crazy. And there was a day that turned it around for me because they kept wanting to fire me. I was one of those guys that were, I was really excited, but I was really bad.
Only for a little while. You eventually got very, very good, obviously.
Yeah, so, seriously, I'm not actually being facetious. I started with Tony's company in 95, but I was so bad. It's like every couple weeks they were bringing me off to the side to fire me. But there was a day that turned it around for me, and it was on December 15th, 1996. And the reason I say that is because for maybe your listeners, maybe they're looking for a day or a time or an opportunity where things can just click, things just turn, something happens for the better. And for me, that happened because I was on the road with Todd. Todd and I had an incredible experience together, traveling the country and just cutting up, letting loose, and having so much fun and making a difference in people's lives. But I remember on that day, December 15th, 1996, I was on a team. Todd was part of that team. They were all being diverted to go to Tony Robbins' house there in La Jolla. They were diverting me to go to the executive offices, and I wasn't sure why. I thought maybe a raise. I wasn't sure.
Oops. That could be a good thing, right?
I didn't know if I was getting a new position and advance. I wasn't sure.
They probably were giving you a new position, yes.
My sales manager's office, of course, I was late, 10 minutes late. I got to the meeting at 9:10 versus 9. So right out of the gate, I was already at a loss. And I walked into the office, and there were pink papers on the desk.
Oops.
And, of course, for those that have ever had a job, you know pink papers mean you're out.
Yep.
And so I walked in that day, and she said, my sales manager, she goes, Brett, she goes, we really liked you. You're really a good guy. You're really this, you're really that, and you were fired. Well, that was a gentle way of letting me go.
Good luck with your life. We hope things work out.
Right.
Yeah, it was just like, it's like, so I sat there that day, and I sat across from my sales manager, and I looked at these papers, I looked at her, and I thought to myself, I thought I can either step up or I can step aside. And I thought, you know what?
Nice.
I thought maybe there was a part of me for a half minute, just be straight. There was a part of me that thought, maybe, dude, you don't have it. Maybe you're not cut out for this. Maybe this isn't your game. And then there was another part of me that said, dude, honestly, relax. Of course it's your game. Of course you signed up for this job to make it happen. And so I stood up, I took my 6'5" body, and I hovered it over her desk. Her eyes looking up at me like, oh my God. Like, they weren't looking
Deborah
for
Russell, right?
Only a signature.
Deborah Russell, right?
Deb Russell, exactly. Yeah, so Deb Russell, she's like, let him go. They all wanted to fire me. And so, they were just wanting me to sign the papers and be on my way. They didn't want me to give them a tack job. But I did, and I clearly just said, you give me one more shot, give me one more opportunity, I'll break the rule. I mean, not break the rule. I'll defy the odds. I'll break record. I'll do whatever I need to do to make it happen. And again, she just looked up at me and was like, there was nothing she could do except say, okay. I mean, I wouldn't take no for an answer. I'm like, I won't leave here. And I was like, I won't leave. You can call security. I told her, you can call security. I'm not going to leave. And I just really bit down that I'm going to get, and I showed up to Tony's house. She gave me one more shot. And I ultimately just, kind of took my place and took my income, started to go to $3,000 a check and $5,000 a check. And I got to ultimately $10,000 a check. And then I thought to myself, I wonder if I take the Ferrari out of the suburbs and throw it into the desert, I wonder what I could do with it. Because you can't go very far in the suburbs with it, right? So you take it to the desert, you throw it down. And I ultimately, through learning some skills and some different mindsets, I was able to take my income from $10,000 a check to over $100,000 on the very next paycheck. And it just freaked out the company. Tony was like, oh my God, and accounting especially.
Accounting, was having some issues.
Yeah, accounting was like, I'm not sure this is legit.
But that's awesome. I mean, it's sort of like using the tools, Tony Robbins tools, to get your job back, right? Know your outcome, take massive action, which is how he's got most everything he's got, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, it's really just about, for me, it was about just going, I signed up for this gig, man. This is, okay, so I might have had some bad disciplines. I might have led some wrong behaviors. I might have not taken the actions necessary, but it doesn't mean that's not what's inside of me. And so I just recognized that if I could really pull those tools together and pull what was inside of me out of me, I knew that I could ultimately have some level of success. And I just wasn't going to go down like a dog. And I think for many people, as cliche as it sounds, they really are 3 feet away from a pot of gold. If they can just snap into themselves and pull the best of themselves out, I really truly do believe that people have a greater inside of them than what they've demonstrated for many times. I know I did.
Brett, this is Lisa. You've got to write a book with that.
Lisa.
You have to write a book with that name, 3 feet away from a pot of gold. I love that saying. That is such a great saying because so many people are right there.
From a pot of gold, right?
Oh, that's great.
But Lisa said this morning, she's like, Brett needs to write a book called...
I believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, she also liked your title, List More, Sell More, and Earn More, as a book, which is great.
But 3 feet away.
So jump into some questions here. This is going to be great.
Lisa. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, on that topic, Brett, so how do you apply what you did working with Tony Robbins to the topic of listing more and selling more and earning more for a real estate professional?
So how do we apply that? Well, I think really what it ultimately comes down to is I really truly believe that many of the agents, and like I say, I've been doing this 2.5 decades. I don't pretend to be the smartest cat on the block. I mean, actually, I'm just a guy at 19 years old. I boarded a Greyhound bus. I borrowed $50, and I said, I'm out of here. and I didn't go to college. I don't have a bunch of degrees. I don't have a bunch of awards or things of that. And so when I work with agents over the country, across the country, when we work with agents, I don't play them for dumb. You know, I don't play them like, oh, you don't know what to do. And so what I get the chance and the opportunity to do is really take people that I believe already know what to do, because there's not too many people where they come to me and they go, I just don't know what to do. You know, I'm like, seriously, bro, you've been in the business 10 years. You don't know what to do? How many more seminars, podcasts, books, trainings do you really need to truly go to before you actually begin to do what you know?
So
Brett, getting our agents to sell more and list more and earn more is beginning to get them to take the action and beginning to get them to do what they know versus just know what to do. That's one of the major keys.
I love that. Just now when I was listening to you, I was reminded of what we know that we've been teaching 20 years is that in every business, 20% is the how-to. So if I'm going to be a plumber, I can learn that. If I'm going to sell stocks, I can learn that. If I'm going to be real estate, go to the course, fill out the paperwork. And that 80%, right, is that human psychology you just talked about on how do I get myself now to go out and take massive action, correct? So that 80% is where people, you know, oh, I'm a car salesman now. Well, you're not successful. The 80-20 rule comes in a different way, right?
It's a major, yes, absolutely, Robertson. There's no question about it. That is the major of most major in the minors. And so they major on the 20% that matters the least. And so I kind of like say it's like hanging out on the wrong side of town. Like it might be fun for a minute, but it's a bit dangerous. You know?
Right.
So you know, I'll give you just a quick example, just 30 seconds here. I had a guy, his name is Sean. Sean was out of Minnesota. Sean being out of Minnesota, I forget what part of Minnesota, young kid, 25 years old, it's a few years ago. He called me up at the end of September. It's like September 26th. We're heading into October, November in Minnesota. Sean's in the mortgage business. He's doing about 7, 8, 9 deals a month. I said to Sean, Sean, how many deals are you going to do in the month of October? He goes, well, I'd like to do 10. I said, no, honestly, truly, Todd, or Sean, can you do 10 without me? Like, can I just skip the scene and you go do your 10? He goes, yeah, I could probably do that. And I said, well, what has to happen in order for you to do 30 deals in the month? Like, that was mind-blowing. Like, huh? Like, to go from, like, 10 to 30? Like, mind-blowing in October in Minnesota. And so I said, Sean, what has to happen in order for you to go from 10 to 30? And the first question he asked me was, how? Right? My response to him is arrogant as it might sound.
The dreaded house.
I said, don't worry about it. I said, just decide to do it. Just decide to do it. I said, decisions come first, answers come second. I said, if you went to Google to type in how to lose 10 pounds, you'll get millions of pages. How to get rich, you'll get millions of pages. So the how to have nothing to do with it. The decision to is everything. So in working with real estate agents, whether it's getting listings or making sales or generating a certain amount of income, it's decisions first, answers second.
Is that the number one thing that holds agents back from really being successful, do you think?
The number one thing that I believe that holds agents back, not agents or any industry, is they just don't truly believe. They really don't truly believe. Meaning, like, okay, it's like a doctor that got, said, I'm going to be a doctor, but they stay as a general practitioner, and not good or bad, because we all need a general practitioner in our life from time to time. But they don't believe they can become a heart surgeon. They don't believe they become a brain surgeon. They don't believe they can become an anesthesiologist. So they're kind of fine with, yeah, I'm a general practitioner. If your kid bangs up his knees on his bicycle, bring him in and I'll get a Band-Aid and put it, like, they stick with that because they don't really truly believe they can be number one. They don't really truly believe they can make $1 million or $2 million or $5 million. They don't believe that they can do great, amazing things. And for those that do, they become in any industry. So I think that what it comes down to is they don't believe, which then hinders the decision to take the actions necessary.
And that's something that you help encourage people and motivate people to believe that they can do the next steps to make their career more successful. Is that right?
I do, and I'm very proud of that. Like, if there's anything I'm really proud of, because there's a lot of people out there that teach from theory and concepts and, yeah, I read about it in, like, this book and on this paragraph and in this chapter, but they don't have it from an actual experience. So what I do is I really get an opportunity to give people an experience. Like when Sean, I never finish up with Sean, but Sean made that decision. And in October, Minnesota, Sean went from doing 10 to 30 the first month. Not only did he do 30, but he did 45 the second month, 75, and he wrote part of the forward to one of my books. He's like, dude, I did 75 deals where I normally only do like 16. And so what it did is it began to give him a new reference. And that new reference gave him more belief that he could do it and do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again. So what I really believe I get an opportunity to do with people is to not give them more information. I think people are in information overload. But I give them an experience, and through that experience, it reinforces this new identity of what is possible. And through that identity, they reinforce it, reinforce it, reinforce it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I have a question for you right now. So a lot of people watching and listening to this right now, right, in light of what's happened, right, the COVID stuff, I really think there's two types of agents out there, because I get to talk to them every week about our Market Dominator, which is our 2-year listing campaign. So I think there's two types of agents, and I just want to hear what you would say to them. I think there's one type that is still mentally paralyzed and a little bit of all this stuff's going on, so it gives them a reason to take their foot off the accelerator. The second type of agent is the agent that's excited, that goes, oh my God, I thought things were going to go bad. They're incredible. And now they feel like they're 3 or 4 months behind and they have all this competition and they want to go out and get listings and separate themselves. I mean, so what are your thoughts on that? Those two types of people.
Well, my thoughts on that, great question on that, Todd. And I think that, just to kind of go with the first one real quick, is that, I like to say that anybody can do things when it's easy. And I like to tell people, like, if you're looking for easy, go buy yourself a hammock. Sit between a couple trees, let the wind kind of go.
New joke, right?
I mean, seriously, if you're looking for easy, get a hammock.
We'll use that again.
$1.99 at the Home Depot. And so, I think that during the times right now that we're in, the people that I've seen grow, and I know from my own personal experience that every growth that I've ever had has always come from the darkest of days. I mean, they've always been the darkest of days. That when I can reach into myself, because I always say, honestly, bro, anybody can do it when it's easy. The sun is out, life is great, your wife is treating you amazing, your husband's treating you, like, anybody can do it when, like, all life is serving you up great. But can you do it during the tough times, the rough times, the nasty times, the ugly times, the challenging times, can you do it then? And so I think for those right now that if you're going through a dark time, this is the time to reach in and find out what's really inside of you. And what you'll find out is you'll be amazed. You'll find out that there was more inside of you than you really truly thought. And I think those people that reach into themselves, that's when you really grow. You don't grow when you go out and do things when it's easy. That's not growth. That's like maintenance. Growth comes when you do it during the nasty times. So for somebody that has that psychology right now, and you're kind of in that place, and hey man, I'm empathetic towards people today, man. We're in high nasty times for a lot of people. But again, I do believe that people right now are going to sit around and cry the blues and complain about how life is treating them unfair. And there's going to be another group out there that this is going to time when they look themselves man to man, woman to woman in the eyes, and say, I know what you're made of. I know what you're made of. Now go for it. I believe those are the ones that are going to really separate themselves right now in this place. Definitely.
Awesome. And in terms of inspiration, and I know you've stayed in touch with this young lady for 15, 20 years, but Marty Rodriguez, share real quick your relationship. She was the number one Century 21 real estate agent in the world for quite a while, correct? And she's down there in, I think, outside of LA somewhere, and you guys are still buddies, and she's on fire, right?
No, here's the interesting part. I met Marty 25 plus years ago.
Wow.
I'm now 53. I met Marty when I was a loan officer, and I was calling out to real estate agents, and I was a scrappy dude. My car had like smoke busting out of it. Like I had my tires were all like, I had nothing. I was a young scrappy kid, like 22.
Clip-on ties.
Old, and I'm calling the number one. I'm calling the number one real estate agent in the world.
Right.
And my friends look at me like I was seriously, like I had problems and issues.
You're going to go cold call the number one realtor in the world. Yeah.
One night, I called Marty. It was 10 o'clock at night. I'm in my office as a loan officer, and I'm praying to God she doesn't answer. I'm like, please don't answer. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm doing. And when her brother answered, And he's like, "Hi, Sean Rodriguez, Century 21." I'm like, "Oh God, I just wanted to hang up." like, "Hi, it's Marty. I'm calling from Marty Rodriguez." "Hold on 1 minute, please." I'm like, I'm like
10 o'clock at night.
She was so gentle. She was so amazing. I told her what I was looking to have happen. I made the call, and Marty was like, "Hey, that sounds great. Why don't you come out and have dinner with my family and I on so-and-so?" Like, dinner? I'm just going. I was just having a few questions.
Right.
So for 25 years, Marty and I, we've had amazing times. Marty is still, Todd, just to let you know, Marty is still the number one in the world with Century 21.
Is she really? Wow. That's incredible. Great for her.
Marty's been the number one in the world. She's, for as long as I've ever known Marty, she's always been number one in the world or number one in the U.S., always. I've never known her at any other ranking.
And you know what?
She might have slipped under the radar on me, but as far as I've known, for as long as I've known her, she's always been number one in the U.S. or always number one in the world.
And talk about humbleness. I had a chance to meet her one time out in Las Vegas. I was doing a seminar, and she was in the front row, right? What does that say about, here's someone, the best in the world, was in the front row. And during the break, I went and gave her a hug because of your connection. I said, "Hey, Todd Robertson, connect with Brett Figueroa," boom, boom, boom. And I mean, wow, what does that say? The best in the world is in the front taking notes, right?
It does say a lot.
Over and over and over.
Lisa, can we get this lady on the show?
Year after year.
Yeah, we need to get her on the show.
You know what? She would be a great guest, actually, and she would be on the show, right, Brett? If we invited her, she'd be on.
Absolutely. As long as I'm not putting words in her mouth, but Marty's my dear friend, I could probably send her a quick little message.
Yeah.
That could absolutely happen.
Let's call her up and say that Brett said that she would come in here and do the show. So
Brett said.
This is so awesome. So before I forget, I know we're not done with our questions, but two things. If I'm a realtor watching or listening right now and I want to get in touch with you somehow about I know you have a Real Estate Titan program. You know, we're a real estate marketing company. We don't do coaching. We don't do training. We don't do that kind of stuff. So that's what's great having you on, is that you bring some extra skill sets here to the table.
Yeah, so there's a few different ways. First of all, I appreciate that offering, Todd. Thank you so much for that entranceway on that. And I just want because a lot of people, a lot of agents, a lot of different industries, just a lot of different industries, the people are looking for a coach. They understand that by coaching, they can collapse decades of time into days of time. It's like playing golf, having somebody with a green jacket that the masters wear stand over your shoulder while you're doing your swing. Like, they can take decades of time off the golf course of learning by collapsing those time frames, by being able to give a direct shot. But I will let those people know that are listening, and those agents that are listening, one, I have great respect for you. I have an enormous amount of admiration for you, and that, you're what I call the few who do versus the many who talk. Because there are a lot of talkers out there.
Nice.
But if you're an agent, you got a license, you're in the game, man, I just invite you to really step up to the plate as far as you can. And if you are looking for a coach, I am a coach. But what I will share with you is I'm not a boiler room coach, meaning boiler room coaches like bring on everybody. You got money? Come on in. I'm a private coach. So the people I really, really am most committed to working with are those that are really inspired to greatness, really inspired to doing things like you've never done before. Not like kind of casual hanging out, just kind of getting by a little bit more, but somebody that's really fired up to do something amazing where you have it inside of you. So a couple different quick ways. One is you can always reach out to me via cell. Simple, quick little text. Hey, I heard your message, da-da-da-da, and I'll be more than happy to reach back out to you. It lets me know that you're special. The phone number on that is 720-672-5783. Again, 720-672-5783. And somebody can also send me an email at brettfigueroainternational.com.
Awesome, man.
At brettfigueroainternational.com.
Lisa is going to make sure that all your contact info is listed below. So those listening, watching, some people are driving. So
thank you.
Todd, have you sent Brett a copy of your award-winning latest book? Brett, have you got this yet?
He hasn't had it, but we should make him win it. We can't just give it to him. I mean,
we should do that. You seem like a very intelligent guy, Brett.
I heard the secret to living was giving. No?
Well, it is.
Earning.
Earning or
So-
you're going to give us the right answer first.
So I don't want you
And
to go
then
to
we'll
Barnes
give
&
you
Noble.
something.
We go back too far. I don't want you to go to Amazon. I think it's sold out there. But so what we do on our show is we ask a question, and if you win, you get an autographed book sent to your home. in beautiful Colorado. I wish you luck.
You can't even buy the autographed books, can you?
No, good luck with that. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
on eBay for like thousands.
Correct. Yeah.
eBay.
You guys are fun. You guys are fun.
Nice.
Is he getting the
are
Third
fun.
Eye book?
Hey, if you can't be fun, be funny. Yeah.
And if you get
That's
this
right.
if you get this first question wrong, we're also going to send you Jerry Rossi's book, The Third Eye: How Dogs Eat Dogs.
Right.
So
yeah.
that's
only read that if you're having
right.
trouble sleeping. Jerry, if you're watching the show, we do come with a lot of humor. We do love you and your book.
yes, your book is awesome, but we have to take advantage of the whole third eye thing that you did the other day. So.
Yes.
Right.
Here we go.
Brett, here we go.
I hope you win my
Listen
book.
up.
I hope you win. Become a listing legend.
Now,
Because
if you get on your iPhone, we're gonna see.
no cheating.
It's be hard to cheat.
Brett, who was the first man to step on the moon?
Ooh.
Very easy.
That's who's the first man to step on the moon? Come on.
Yes, exactly.
That's John Elway. No.
John Elway.
Armstrong.
Oh, he thinks this is funny,
Oh,
huh?
that was not correct. Sorry about
Brett,
that.
you would have loved the book. You would have loved the book.
Oh.
Sorry you didn't win it.
Well, it was nice
It's an
talking to you
incredible
anyway.
read. You know what? He's been such great guest. Let's
All
give him
right.
one more shot.
By the way, that would have been Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on the moon. Let's send him
That's
this
what I said.
instead of the card.
That's what he said.
That's what I
You
said.
didn't hear him right.
Well, we had some technical difficulties.
I
We
couldn't
did
hear
not
it.
hear
I couldn't
that.
hear it.
So,
Oh, it's always technical difficulties.
yeah.
We thought we heard
All
John
right.
Elway. Our bad, okay?
That's so
I
strange.
said Neil Armstrong.
Let's go for one from category B. That's the kindergartner category. And what building is on the back of a $20 bill?
What building is on the back of a 20?
That would be the federal building.
The Federal Building.
The Treasury, I think. Oh,
That is
man.
the White House, actually, would be on the back of a $20 bill.
The White House.
Yes.
Now we're down to
okay.
the gift card.
Right,
We're
now
down to
we're
the gift card now.
Okay. Have we ever gone 3 questions in one of these?
Yes,
Okay.
the guy who
These might not be fair because
the guy
his.
who thought you blow into a cello.
Right. You blow in a
Oh,
cello.
that was bad.
That
Yeah.
was an odd cello.
Oh my God.
We had to go 3 with him.
Okay, Brett, we're rooting for you here.
Brett, you might be losing some
I'm
clients.
gonna do my best, man. That's all I can say.
All right.
Come on, you got this.
Here we
If I
go.
need a lifeline, I need to call somebody.
All right.
Yeah.
We might get to that point. All right. How many milligrams are in a gram?
Oh. Doesn't he have
I'm
A, B,
gonna
or
say
C?
100.
Doesn't he have A, B, or C?
I thought I heard 100, but I'm with technical difficulties again. I don't think you said
Uh-oh.
100. What did you say?
I said 100.
1,000? Yes, it's 1,000.
Oh, 1,000. Great job, Brett. Great
Good
job.
All right. So we're going to send you out Todd's book.
What's funny is I was going to say 1,000 a minute. That was my first thing was 1,000.
See,
and I
always
dropped it
go
down
with
to
your
all-
first.
Right.
That's what we knew. That's why we let you in. We knew you were thinking that. Yeah.
And because it took you
Thank
3
you.
tries, we're
Thank
going to send you this book
Robertson.
as well as your consolation.
You are going to love it. Brother, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Stay strong. Sending you great strength out there. And thank you for being with us here today.
Awesome.
Thank you, Brett.
so much, Jim and Todd. Thank you so much. Great seeing you, Brother Todd. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sounds
Brett.
great. It
Talk
was a
to you
pleasure.
soon.
Thank you very
Stay
much.
strong, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed today's show and all about it. Lisa, we're going to put his contact information in the notes for the
In
show,
the show
right?
notes,
Awesome.
contact this guy. He was very motivational, and he has very good titles for books. There are like
Yeah.
5 titles when he was talking that you could use for books.
Exactly.
Seriously, that guy has a way with words.
He can come out with 5 different books. They're all the same on the inside, but different titles. That's a great idea.
Second edition.
He needs to hire you on weekends, I think.
Maybe
Yes.
so. Well, I'm available on weekends. So
Yes.
don't forget today's podcast brought to you by Prospects Plus, offering real estate postcards that work. Design, print, and mail them in just minutes. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and hit the bell icons to be notified every time we go live. And we'll see you next week.
Market Dominator. Market Dominator. Hit the button.
Was that subliminal?